Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome, and click that subscribe button so you guys could see all of my new videos and all of my updates. Today I'm going to be talking about the first signs of pregnancy. So these were the signs that even before I missed my period or I got that first positive, these were the signs that kind of made me think, I think something is happening. So they're not in any particular order, but these are just the things that really made me kind of notice what was happening. The first one is bloating. So obviously a lot of the signs, the first signs of pregnancy, are also the signs that you would get when you're getting your period. So before I get my period, I do get bloating, and it's like nothing really fits properly. You feel so uncomfortable. So I had bloating, and that when I found out I was pregnant, I did my test, it said 2 to 3 weeks pregnant, and that's when I was kind of figuring out how far along I was. So I did know quite early on, but so I started to have bloating, and it just felt like my stomach just grew, none of my pants fit, none of my tops fitted, and I do get bloating, but I usually get the bloating when my period starts. And this started before, at least a few weeks before I was due for my period. So I kind of thought, that's kind of weird. And I didn't know that bloating was a symptom or a sign of pregnancy. So at that time I just thought, oh, maybe it's just, I've been eating a lot of bad stuff and it's just really early. I'm just getting bloating earlier than my period. Woohoo for me. But that was my first sign. The second sign was fatigue. I was tired like nobody's business, and I basically stayed that way for the entire first trimester. So I felt fatigue like pretty much instantly. I was going to work, coming home, taking a nap every day. I couldn't stay awake. I would come home from work, and I had a second job. I'd go to that job and I'd come home, and at 7 o'clock I'd be looking at my husband Hoying, and I'd be like, I need to lie down, just wake me up in a few hours, I'll be good to go. And he was just like, okay. And I thought maybe I was coming down with something, but that was the sign that really made me think that I was actually pregnant, because anybody who knows me, I am not the person to ever nap. Like, I stopped napping early as a child. My mother was not too pleased, but I stopped napping early in life and I never looked back. I only nap when I am sick, and that is pretty much it. It's not my norm, and I was having to take a nap every day. I was just physically just exhausted, wiped out every day. The third sign was headaches. I had frequent headaches basically every day. They lasted all day, and because I knew that Hoying and I were trying to get pregnant, I wasn't taking any medication. So I wasn't taking anything to make the headaches go away, but they would just stay all day, and they would come at the same time. Like, it would be the same point in the day that it would hit, and it would just stay right until basically I went to bed. And I was trying to use only natural remedies because I was waiting to find out if I was indeed pregnant. So it was a pretty hard time. I thought the headaches were due to heat at the time when that started to happen, because it was getting really hot. We were getting into summer, and I thought maybe it's just heat, maybe I'm not drinking enough water or something like that. But the headaches came consistently, and they also stayed throughout the first trimester. The fourth symptom was nausea. The nausea hit me officially when I was about 6 weeks pregnant and stayed till I was about 14 weeks pregnant. But I was feeling nausea every now and then before I had that positive. And I'm not the person who's always or often nauseous, so it was just really weird. It would just kind of hit me and just wouldn't go away, and that is not the norm. Fifth sign was breast tenderness. So every once in a while when I do get my period, before it hits, my breasts become very sensitive and tender, but nothing like how I felt at this time. They were like nothing could touch them. Like, if a breeze passed by, I'd be like, ow. Like, everything hurt. Everything was painful. Clothes, bra, a towel, a hand swipe by accident, everything made it hurt. And it wasn't just, it was like the whole breast, but especially around the nipple was so sensitive, and it basically stayed that way for weeks. It wasn't going away. So I thought, usually it would come maybe the week before my period, but This came and it just stayed for weeks and weeks. So I was like, this is not 100% normal for me. And the sixth sign was cramping. And the cramping started really about the week before my missed period, which is normal for me. I will get pre-cramps and I usually will start taking like something for them, knowing, okay, my period is officially gonna hit in a few days. So I thought, you know what, all these signs, I thought, oh, I must be pregnant. But when the cramping really started, that's what made me kind of second guess myself, because I know cramps always come for me before my period actually hits, and it really does feel like period cramps. They feel exactly like how it feels, and I found myself every day throughout the day kind of checking to see if my period came or not, just because it felt just like it. And there were a few days where the cramps were so severe that they didn't go away, and they weren't like, oh, they came and they went, or they're light and they're manageable. Like, there were a few days that the cramping was so intense that I just wanted to like curl up into a ball. And obviously that is also a sign, but at the time I thought my period must be coming, and if it's not, this is something else that could be concerning. I didn't have any bleeding, so I didn't have any implantation bleeding, so it was just the cramps. And so that's another reason why that made me believe that I was pregnant before I got my first positive. Obviously, a lot of those signs could mean your period, they could mean you're pregnant, so you know, you kind of just have to take everything with a grain of salt and wait it out until you can test, because otherwise you're just feeling so stressed. If you're trying, it's hard, because in the back of your mind you're thinking, does this mean this? What does this mean? And you're analyzing everything, and you start to wonder if things are in your head, or you know, what's really going on. If you're not trying to get pregnant, then you know what, you might completely misinterpret what the signs are and think that it is your period when it actually is not. So everybody has different first signs, everybody has different first symptoms. You may have them, you may not have them, but those are some of the ones that made me kind of second guess. So if you're trying to get pregnant and you notice some of these signs before you get your positive, you know, just treat your body as if you were, and you know, do all the natural things you would do if you were actually pregnant, and just wait as long as you can. I know it is hard to wait. I wanted to test so quickly, but just, you know, wait and see. And you know what, if you are not trying, then you never know. It could be signs, it could not be, but these were what I noticed, and I just wanted to let you guys know so that if it happens to you, you kind of know what to kind of look for or what to expect. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And again, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.